and just moments ago hit the headquarters of the IRGC and barracks in Tehran. That is where the massacre of last month's Iranian protesters was organized and carried out. Smoke has been seen rising from near Iran's state.
Protesters last month, 30,000 people were killed protesting in the streets, executed. Hey man, breaking news. We heard early. I ain't gonna even hold you. Breaking news.
A short time ago,
Shit just got real.
the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
It's 30 minutes ago. I'm gonna edit this shit, get this shit out.
We are facing an act of aggression, and obviously we have every right to defend ourselves.
Say, fuck around and find out. This was yesterday. This is today.
Unfolding in the Middle East, the U.S. and Israel carrying out.
This is today. This is today. 2 hours ago.
An unprecedented military operation crippling Tehran's leadership by taking out Iran's supreme leader along with dozens of other top officials.
The devastating blow
around
to Iran's Islamic
and find
regime,
out.
a result of one of the largest military operations in the history of modern warfare, with 900 U.S. strikes in just 12 hours, using 2 aircraft carriers, 3 destroyers, and B-2 stealth bombers, and striking at least 500 Iranian targets.
One of my bros called me last night. He was like, man, you don't think, boy, we ain't worried about that shit, Floyd. I had to call you out on my video. Boy, we ain't worried about that shit. Bro, do they know who the U.S. motherfucking army is and military, bro?
We've already seen dozens of U.S. military bases targeted with retaliatory strikes as Iran vows revenge.
President Trump urging Iran not to return fire or face, quote, force that has never been seen before.
The sentiment for Iranian Americans across the globe, elation. Celebrations erupting after the strikes came down.
Celebrations.
What could be the best hope for relief from the Islamic regime's reign in decades? We begin this morning with Jennifer Griffin.
They are happy. People in America are mad. They are happy. We are mad. This is the same shit that would happen if Trump got killed or whatever. Y'all will be like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then we'll be fucked.
Walk us through
They're
this
happy.
history-making mission. And good morning, Jennifer. It's really quite remarkable when you look at the total package.
Griff, very remarkable, but also a complicated picture emerging this morning. The Iranian leadership that did survive, and there are a few leaders that did survive, the president, as well as Ali Larijani, who's very powerful in Iran, have threatened the U.S. and threatened to attack 27 U.S. bases across the Middle East. And we've been seeing a lot of those missiles flying into neighboring countries. A mob also tried to storm the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, and Pakistani security forces used batons to push back an angry crowd threatening the U.S. consulate in Karachi, Pakistan. Both Iraq and Pakistan, of course, have large Shia Muslim populations. And British Defense Secretary John Healey said 2 missiles had been fired towards Cyprus, where the British Army has service members stationed. In Tehran, following the announcement of the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, there were spontaneous outbursts of celebration on the one hand, but also some crowds chanting today in downtown Tehran, "Death to America." Not clear if these were spontaneous or organized protests, but you can assume that the remnants of the regime and the IRGC will want to present a united front.
And they've been saying this shit for years. Death to America, death to America. But at the same time, they can only strike shit that's over there. We have bases in every fucking country, bro. Every country, bro. They can only attack shit that's over there. At the same time, we have defense systems set up over there to where you can't really fuck with that shit. And then if you do, it's like they did yesterday, last night. More strikes from the U.S. bases that's surrounding their ass.
Front suggesting that the regime will survive. The man to watch is Ali Larijani, the head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He just gave an interview in which he described the killing of Ali Khamenei as extremely painful, threatening revenge. Quote, "The United States and the Zionists have burned the heart of the Iranian people, and we will burn their hearts." Meantime, Iran managed to fire more than 300 missiles at the UAE, where the U.S. has a military base at Al Dhafra, about the same number as it fired toward Israel. Actually, about 100 ballistic missiles were fired toward Israel yesterday, according to the IDF. So this was actually more missiles fired at UAE. Iran has expanded its response, even firing missiles at Oman, which tried to negotiate that last-minute nuclear deal and avoid war. Qatar received about 65 Iranian missiles since yesterday, and Bahrain approximately 35. And explosions have been heard in eastern Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, today. Israel, meantime, has increased its airstrikes and says it will now target Iran's nuclear facilities, and just moments ago hit the headquarters of the IRGC and barracks in Tehran. That is where the massacre of last month's Iranian protesters was organized and carried out. Smoke has been seen rising from near Iran's state.
Protesters last month, 30,000 people were killed protesting in the streets, executed.
Broadcasting facility in Tehran. And in terms of the U.S. operation yesterday.
So what would somebody say? These motherfuckers is protesting that no king shit, that ICE shit, all of this shit. That if they were protesting and Trump was to drop a motherfucking nuke on their ass, y'all be like, oh hell no. But if somebody in another country do it and y'all don't hear about it till now, it's like, oh well, we ain't know all that was going on. Well, duh. Duh. It's a whole lot of shit that we don't know that's fucking going on.
The U.S. military, we learned, carried out 900 strikes in 12 hours.
12
10
hours.
to 15 senior leaders of the Iranian government and military were killed in that Israeli strike on Ali Khamenei's compound.
Look at that shit.
Multiple sources tell me that the start of the operation, the joint operation, had to be moved up based on intelligence and this target of opportunity, a meeting at Khamenei's compound. Quote, there was a deliberate decision to accelerate the timeline. That is why the U.S. and Israel took the unusual
decision
to strike during the daytime to achieve the element of surprise and to target this meeting. Normally, the U.S. military would not launch an operation like this during the day. The meeting accelerated the timeline, I'm told. This was a massive, wildly bold daytime attack, a senior U.S. defense official told me. It caught the senior leadership off guard and on a Saturday morning during Ramadan and on Shabbat in the daytime.
Remember back in, I'll do another video if y'all remember this shit. But remember back in 2018 when they was like, when Trump had sent the military over there, they didn't fly in, bro. They was like, nah, that's too risky. They didn't fly in. Them niggas drove tanks right through that bitch and blew everything the fuck up on the fucking ground. They didn't send Black Hawks. They didn't send aircraft. They ain't send motherfucking bombers. Nigga, they drove right through the motherfucking city and blew that bitch up.
We hit the senior leaders right out of the gate, I was told. But some survived, including, as I mentioned, Ali Larijani, the man to watch, and Iran's president, who issued a statement just moments ago. Griff?
Yeah, and Jennifer, you mentioned what we're watching, what Larijani will do now. And, you know, I think we've focused so much on the IRGC, but would Larijani possibly try and go after or try to activate the Basij? People haven't talked much about the Basij, and it's important to understand that is a strong militia that could be sympathetic to the IRGC within Iran.
Absolutely. The Basij are like the internal police, this state police that are really very vicious and were responsible for a lot of the killing of those 32,000 protesters who were killed in December and January in Iran. The Basij are still a factor. Remember, we've talked about this in the past, but in the early days of the
And hold on. Let's just also mark this shit out. Fox is very crucial of Trump. Has always been. So these past couple of years, it's been a lot of false ass motherfucking shit coming out of Fox. Until these last 3 years. So all of them motherfuckers getting fired and all this other little shit that done happen behind the scenes. Now they gotta spit the motherfucking truth all of a sudden.
Iraq War, a lot of those security forces just took off their uniforms and floated away and then reorganized and came back and began carrying out terror attacks. Now, the difference this time is the U.S. will not be
Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
be occupying Iran. They don't have ground forces that are going in, so there won't be any targets inside Iran. But those Basij and the paranoia that's been created over decades of theocracy and state control and authoritarianism in Iran is going to make, it may be one of the reasons you're not seeing people come out quite in the large numbers that you might expect after such strikes on their behalf. But I think people are scared, and they have a right to be scared that they were slaughtered in the last 2 months. So what you're also likely to see, Griff, is the IRGC launch through proxies, through sleeper cells around the world, targets of opportunity. They tend to fight asymmetrically with terror attacks, and that is what I would expect to see: assassinations, terror attacks, but it won't happen immediately. It'll be when we let down our guard. And I think the strategy right now, from what I am observing, is that Iran is firing missiles at all of the states surrounding in the region, all of the states that host U.S. military bases, trying to create so much chaos that there's maybe pressure at the UN or elsewhere calling for a stop to the war. And if they think they can just survive these initial strikes and then regroup, that is their strategy at this point. But I'm not sure it's going to work, because it's really mobilized all those strikes on UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia has just mobilized those nations to prepare to engage Iran at this time.
Come right back at you. So they fucking they self, but you literally, Iran, I wish it was a map of where Iran. You got Iran, you got Afghanistan, you got Pakistan, you got Israel. It's all of this shit that's surrounding this motherfucker. And you literally shooting your next door neighbor and thinking that they ain't finna come back outside and be like, bitch, I got guns too.
A lot of people commenting at the level of intel that the U.S. and especially Israel had.
Look at it. I just asked for that shit. Iran, bro. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. Now, mind you, look at where the strikes are going. Look at where the strikes are going. It's going right to they shit. Right to they shit. They fucking with all of these motherfuckers on this side. All of these motherfuckers just surrounding their ass. That's stupid. So then it's not only the U.S. sending. So the U.S. sent 900. They ain't even including now that you over there fucking with Dubai and all that shit. Now that you over there fucking with Afghanistan and Israel is up there. You don't think that? Say. So it's just 900 on our side. That's stupid.
To this attack, that it's really
That's
been
dumb.
impressive. So they've taken out this leadership. You talk about the leaders that are left behind. Based on the intel that they have, I mean, do they think that this B team, or I don't know, maybe this is the C team that's left behind, do they have the ability, the authority, the capacity to do what the A team could do? I'm just curious if that was taken into account. Like, why weren't they also taken out? And then also the security, the special security forces that you and Griff were talking about.
Well, I think, first of all, Ali Larijani would be part of the A team. So some of the A team did survive. And that is what's dangerous in these kind of strikes.
And they talking about the A team of the leaders on that side, just in case y'all missed it. That's why I'm here to catch y'all up. They talking about the A team on that side, the leaders and all the people that they showed earlier that said eliminated at the top. That's what they talking about.
We've seen with Hezbollah and elsewhere that there are usually follow-on strikes, and usually the person who moves up in the rankings, they then have the bullseye on their back. Obviously, the U.S. and Israel have excellent intelligence. This could not have been carried out without human intelligence on the ground. They've been mapping these sites that they targeted for months, if not years. But in terms of the human intelligence that would have led to knowing that a meeting was taking place of 10 to 15 top leaders, I mean, you can't underestimate the impact, and also the impact of killing Ali Khamenei, who is the spiritual leader. That was, literally, as Ali Larijani said, a knife in the heart of those who followed him. So this was a very significant strike. It is not over, and there are still remaining leaders, and certainly they're going to be very careful about how they move around. But as soon as the U.S. and Israel can suppress the air defense systems, and they're in the process of doing that, they're going to have a lot easier time than flying their air forces over Iranian territory, and then it becomes a lot harder for those leaders to hide. But that is still a few days off, I'm told. And in terms of the besieged, in terms of the IRGC, I mean, you're talking thousands of people who are in, if not 150,000 people who are in those security forces and who are believers, true believers, and who are willing to die, and suicide bombers and whatever have you. That is very hard to target. You can target their headquarters, you can target their leadership, but this is complicated. And remember, there are a lot of allies in Iraq. Iraq has a lot of Shia militias. We just heard that some of them have fired some missiles at some of the neighboring states as well, and they also are firing at a U.S. base in Erbil right now. So this is very complicated. There are Shia Muslims around the world there are many who will celebrate the end, if this in fact is the end of the theocracy in Iran. Many of those people who went into exile, the dissidents who left after the Shah's regime fell, but there are also many who supported that regime and believe that this was a strike on Shia Islam.
Vlad TV. He posted yesterday, rest in peace to that nigga. Say, man, I'm finna edit this video. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm finna run another one too. I'm gonna put up some more shit on about what happened last month with the 30,000 people. And then I'm gonna also show you that shit from, I think it was 2018 or 2019, where they drove through that motherfucker with them goddamn tanks blowing shit the fuck up. I'm gonna holler at y'all. This off the cuff. I'm Chris, baby. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Off the cuff, we keep it real. Never switch it up. If you came for the fake, better exit quick. This right here. Off the cuff, Chris. No filter, no cap, no warning label. Just laughs, you rockin' with.